What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and this is my take. And I'm back another week, 3 videos, and we're gonna kick things off with a review of the new Denzel Curry album, Melt My Eyes, See Your Future. Denzel Curry, man, Florida rapper, he's back, man. I've been waiting on this, man. Denzel Curry is one of my favorite rappers in the game right now. And man, talk about a run, all right, from what I consider to be a classic, the very dark Taboo. Following now, we get the banger heavy Zoo. And then he teams up with Kenny Beats and they drop a collab project, Unlocked, which the 7 or 8 tracks, it was basically flawless. Like, man, this dude just can't miss, man. Like, he does it all, man. From his multi-dimensional flows, his energy, his lyrics. Like, this man is the complete package. And look, this man continues that on this new record right here. Like this man couldn't miss if he tried. Like, when it comes to him not missing, like, I wish that I could just take that and pass it to Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? Like, my Lakers are struggling, man. But look, on these 14 tracks, Zell is once again over very varied production. Like this thing is far from one-dimensional, as he talks about different things like war and police brutality and the government. But it all comes under the veil of this concept of melting eyes, and we'll dive into that more as we talk about some of these tracks. But look, on these 14 tracks, there's not a sleeper, a snoozer, any bad tracks on here. But let's discuss a few that really stuck out to me. For the opener, Melt Session number 1, we get a beautifully produced Robert Glasper track. And to kick things off, Zell is like very reflective and apologetic for his past mistakes or people that he hurt or did wrong. We also get our first mentions of eyes and melting. More specifically, he speaks on his eyes seeing the imperfections within himself. And so when he talks about this melting, it's more of, you know, getting rid of those imperfections, those insecurities that are within. Easily one of the most memorable tracks on this album is Walkin. That vocal melody just stayed in my head, and it never left once this track kicked off. Like, it's so catchy. Like, I found myself humming it. I found myself humming it like throughout the weekend as I was listening to this thing. And the production was varied on here. Like, the different switch ups we just didn't see coming. Like, this track started more off with a lo-fi type drum break, and then it transitions into this hard hitting trap beat. Like, a banger is an understatement. Now, Zell has a bone to pick with the US and the many crooked institutions on the song Worst Come to Worst. From war, famine, poverty, the government and its lack of concerns. I really like the low-key melody that was more driven by the drums, as well as Zell's layered background vocals that pop up on here as well. Another highlight was the song John Wayne featuring Buzzy Lee. And this is cool because this track was actually produced by Denzel Curry's friend and collaborator, the multi-talented JPEGMAFIA. And on this song, Zell is speaking on gun violence, and especially when it comes to police brutality. And he speaks on how it's inevitable that he has a weapon on him. Like you just never know. Like, your time may be coming, especially as a black man, a black person. For how dark the lyrics are, the song Mental is such a smooth and soulful track. Very memorable for me. On this song, Zell speaks on just the mental struggles that he's had, including suicidal thoughts. Saying at one point on the track that his mental state is just whatever happens, happens. We also again get the mentioning of melting eyes, and how specifically on this track that everything will be fine once that happens, once my eyes have melted. Denzel Curry and T-Pain was definitely an unexpected collab that we get on the song Troubles. Shout out to Kenny Beats doing his thing on the production like he always does. And man, just T-Pain and his performance on here, man, it really is just a reminder of how much of an influence he still has on this generation of rap. And why he's not as big as he used to be, I just don't get. Like, we must have really taken this man for granted, because just how he disappeared and just wasn't as big or hasn't been as big as before, it is a head scratcher. I simply don't understand how that's the case. The song Ain't No Way was a song that I was very much looking forward to coming into this, as I Saw the track list beforehand as we get features from Black, Rico, Nasty, and Jid. And of the features, Rico, Nasty, and Jid were definitely the standouts. This is a hard trap instrumental, and so you know Rico Nasty is gonna come in with that energy and deliver, and she definitely did. And it's why I'm such a big fan of hers. I will say, I wish that Jid had a longer verse. His verse seemed very short, but he still did his thing per usual. And despite that, it seemed like Zell still came out on top on this thing. His performance on the switch up, which turns into a more soulful type of beat, was amazing, and just how he was flowing over it. I was wondering why the song The Smell of Death had a more funky groove to it. And then I looked and saw that Thundercat was behind this on the production, which makes sense because I could also see Thundercat contributing vocally on this track. This sounds like his type of song. This was a song that I was like really kind of confused about. My mind was kind of taking me in different places in terms of what Zell might have been talking about. A big thing that I think maybe he was talking about was war, which he mentioned on a previous track, as he had a lot of violent bars that kind of mentioned war specifically. But the song that really tied everything together and really clicked for me in terms of what Zell was doing on this whole project was the song Zatoichi. And I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it features slowthai, who has some very aggressive vocal contributions on the hook. But Zatoichi is an old fictional character. He was a blind swordsman. And on this song, Zell is comparing himself to Zatoichi and saying that, you know, he can lead those. He, as someone who has their eyes closed, who's melted their eyes, can lead those as well who decide to do the same thing. And by melting or closing your eyes, is essentially no longer focusing on the evils of this world and what can be seen within, and just seeking guidance and help. Zell sees himself as the person who can guide those to see what really needs to be seen. And I thought that was pretty creative, just like that concept of just like keeping your eyes open, but like keeping a different set of eyes closed. Those eyes that can really expose you to some really like dark and messed up things that are happening around us. I know that too well, and just, you know, with age, just seeing more of how this world is set up and operated, and a lot of it is just very difficult to take in and to process and to even accept. So how Denzel Curry went about telling this and expressing it, I thought was really creative and just really dope, man. Like, it's what he does, man. Like, I expected nothing less. And so once again, Denzel Curry, man, like, he does it again. He never gives me a reason to doubt him and what he's gonna do with his different flows over just different types of production. This man can rap, sing, perform over any type of hip hop production. It doesn't even have to be hip hop like sound. It can be anything at this point. I'm just such a big fan of what this dude is doing. I gotta order this vinyl. I gotta get a Taboo vinyl. Man, this dude, man, amazing work. Denzel Curry, like, what else is there to say? I'm feeling a 9 out of 10 on this album. So what do you guys think of this new Denzel Curry project? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What were your favorite tracks? Let's have a discussion down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Got 2 more videos coming. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason. This has been my take, and I'll see you next time.